Sam, what are you doing?
I'm playing AlienWare, man. What do you think I'm doing? Jesus.
Sam, that's a laptop.
Yeah, but it's the same like weight as the new AlienWare UFO thing. I gotta build my muscle strength up, man. Jesus. The battery died. Jesus.
You're only playing for like 5 minutes.
That's usually it's a lot longer than usual.
I am the one, the way your son.
Everybody, CES. It is the sexpo for nerds.
It is, actually. It's one of 2 times in the year where Pornhub's traffic actually drops. CES and E3. Maybe is there some anime convention?
Oh yeah, and there's Comic-Con. There's Comic-Con. Oh, no, that
true,
goes
right.
up, I'm sure. This is a different category that they're looking at, people.
Correct.
Yeah.
CES is the Consumer Electronics Show. Happens every year in Las Vegas, and they show off a whole bunch of new tech for everything. TVs and drones and all sorts of stuff.
Cat robots. There's a cat robot.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Like the movie?
I'm showing it right now. Oh no, it's not the cat movie, people. They knew better. They're not going to show that at CES.
CES obviously shows off a lot of gaming related tech as well, and one of the things is a new handheld from AlienWare. It's only in project status right now. They don't even know if they're going to make this thing, but it's basically a Switch that can play PC games. That's interesting, man. I'm interested.
Also doubles as a weight thing.
Weight thing.
I don't know.
Nice. Like pumping iron.
Drop. Up. Down.
Down, up, down, up. Come on, more energy.
So I feel like the handheld market has changed a lot ever since the Game Boy, you know, like one of the first. So we had like the Atari Lynx, obviously. We had the Game Gear. We had the Nintendo DS and all that stuff. We had the PS Vita, PSP before then. Right now, it's just the Switch. That's pretty much the only game in town. There are some smaller, whatever, but like the only major console that people know and talk about, handheld, is the Nintendo Switch. Alienware are trying to take a swing at that though. They're seeing the success of the Switch and they thought, how about PC gaming, but with the Switch? I
think it's a good idea. Let's make a gigantic thing that can barely fit in your hand that is 3 times as heavy as the Switch, okay?
Down, up. Come on, more energy.
Let's get to the specs of this baby,
Yes.
okay? So, firstly, it comes in 4 pieces, just like a Switch, okay? It comes in a whole piece. You can take both controls out. It also comes with a thing in between that you can slide both those Joy-Cons. We'll use the word Joy-Cons for this, okay?
Nice.
Slide in, and it can create a complete controller for you. That's 4 pieces. That is the 4 pieces. Doubles up as a PC, which is kind of cool, actually. to think that.
It does have 2 USB ports, one top and bottom, and that allows you to dock it. So you can make this a PC. It does run a sort of custom boot launcher of Windows 10, but it is running Windows 10. So obviously, sky's the limit with regards to this thing. You are going to be able to use it as a PC. It's probably not going to be a very powerful one though, and this is where we start talking about specs, and that is we don't know its specs. It's running on 10th generation Intel processor, but that's all we know about it. We don't know anything else.
Yeah, but we do know it has an 8-inch screen. Now, 8 inches, pretty nice.
Why are you the way that you are?
Look, the 8-inch screen is, I think the Nintendo Switch is 6.2, so this is obviously larger, and it's noticeably larger as well. Like,
but look, size doesn't matter, okay?
Yeah, right,
Just trust me on that.
But you know, overall, I'd say it looks like a pretty sort of, I don't know, the unit looks cool. I don't know if it necessarily looks comfortable. It's still in project form right now, so it will likely change a lot if it even gets made. But like, that's what it looks like. Those are the specs. I think there are quite a few very big question marks about this thing though, given what we've already seen. I think, first of all, we have to talk about price. Now, Alienware are famous for
being the Apple of gaming.
Essentially the Apple of gaming.
Their
prices are atrocious. Like, I'm sorry, but they are completely off the charts ridiculous. And the idea that Alienware would be making this product immediately means that it's going to be unaffordable for like 85% of humanity. Just impossible, you know? So that's number one, especially given we're talking about new tech. Obviously, they're trying to push like technological boundaries and whatever else. I'm sure they're trying to appeal to a specific niche market. I don't think this thing is going to come in cheap at all.
I don't think so at all. I think, look, if we're US dollars, if they're currently selling Switches at $300 and $200 for Switch Lites, dude, this thing is going to be at least $500.
At least.
At least, if not more. And then, of course, that's a big question for a lot of people where they can actually build a decent PC for getting towards that price range, or you can just buy a console and know that you're going to get a hell of a lot of power through that. Now, it is the handheld market, right? So I get that it's a different offering, but another thing is the size, right? Like,
it's so big.
The size is big. Okay?
It's so big.
And I don't know why we're chuckling, but you chuckle too.
Big size.
Okay, you chuckle too. Now, the thing is, if you're on the bus, sure, you can put it in like your knapsack.
You're sitting next to someone and you're doing
Can
these
you
ones
imagine
like...
this? Oh, sorry, I'm just playing Halo at the moment. Yeah, is that right? Can you press the button? I gotta get off now.
You know what's really funny though? The guys, people who have been reviewing it on the floor of CES have said that it has really loud fans. To keep this thing running, obviously, there's a lot of hardware in there. Keeping it cool is a big thing. The fans were really whirling while playing only just Rocket League. If you're playing something actually taxing, imagine this thing's gonna be like sitting next to someone who's got like a small jet engine in their pocket.
Especially if you go on a bed next to someone or whatever. Or I mean, I remember the Razer when I was editing back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
If it's late at night, that thing is freaking loud. It
lights
actually
up.
keeps people up. So if that could be a big problem. But I think the last one.
Specs.
I mean, we don't know what they are.
We don't know what they are.
You
We
know?
don't know how many compromises will need to be made to be able to play your favorite games. They were showing off stuff like Formula 1 2019, Mortal Kombat 11, Rocket League, etc. They all seem to run fine, but obviously these were going to be running at low specs. And it's a case of like, well, let's say we're running a really intensive first-person shooter. How's that going to work? You know, so lots of question marks there. I think overall it becomes a question of like, what kind of compromise needs to be made with this machine? That's ultimately it, because picking up something like this, we're not expecting a fantastic out-of-the-box experience that's just like, oh, it just works, man. No Todd Howard right here.
Yeah.
This is obviously like, what am I trading away for having, you know, PC gaming on the go? And I suspect it will be quite a bit.
Sure, and I think, but there are some success stories, of course. I mean, all the way back from the Game Boy, all the way up to now, when we're seeing with Switch. Now, I think that brings us to the whole competitive thing. Like, number one, the biggest on the horizon, which we've now been seeing reports and we know is coming, is there is going to be a Switch 2, and there already is a Switch right now.
Not Switch 2. There
Oh,
are
you know what I'm
reports-
talking
There are
about.
reports of an updated Switch coming later this year that's going to have a slightly redesigned designed frame, or chassis at least, and also
more powerful.
Going to be more powerful.
So regardless of
better
what the
CPU.
name is, right, it's going to be something that's going to be leaning more towards how powerful this thing might be at the moment, you see. So, you know, you are competing, number one, with an already established market like the Nintendo Switch, and it's a lot smaller, a lot more portable, and it's a lot more attractive to a lot of people for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
IP, brand, whatever, right?
There are other handheld PC devices as well. There's the GDP Win, which is kind of ugly, but it works. You know, it's a niche product, but it's out there. There's also the Smaz or the Smack or the Smash.
It's Smash 2 Ultimate.
I don't even know how to say this, but either way, like, it's a weird looking machine.
Yeah.
It does play handheld PC games. It's very large and very long. It's definitely longer than 8 inches, Sam. Definitely longer.
I felt
than
we were
8
getting
inches.
away from that joke.
So
But look,
they're not the only ones.
Yeah, it's important to mention also that is actually roughly, from the photos at least, the same bulkiness, the same size. Now, they've also been playing games like Monster Hunter on that, right? It only came out, or were announced earlier in 2019. It's getting 17 frames per second on Monster Hunter. I mean, if they're having those issues there, this is only announced a few months later.
Sure.
We're probably going to see maybe similar specs to that. So we're already seeing that something that's very similar potentially in size and release time also having a big issue with Monster Hunter and frame rates in general. But then there's also, like, you know, Huawei and
Phones in general.
Phones in general, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you can take your phone and either play with on-screen controls, or you can drop it into one of those, like, Bluetooth controller docks that essentially makes it a Switch. There's lots of Android games and Apple games and stuff you can play. A lot of people do mobile gaming as their primary thing, like PUBG and Fortnite are absolutely huge, you know what I mean? So, literally, this device would be competing with the mobile space as well.
And the Note 9's screen is like it is exactly the same size as the Switch, right? So, I mean,
Nice, drop your phone, Sam.
Sorry, I just thought I'd drop it there. Just showing how good the actual robustness of that case
Brought
is.
to you
But
by Samsung.
Thank you very much.
The last one I think as well is cloud streaming. Like, that's another competitor to this that I think is really going to cause a lot of disruption, and that is like Project X Cloud is coming soon, and you will literally be able to play Halo on your phone through the Xbox ecosystem if you own a copy of Halo, or if you are subscribed to Game Pass, $10 a month, right? And you're able to just immediately stream stuff to your phone. Now, obviously, there's the latency question. That will improve with time, but that's something, it's like, well, do I really need a huge heavy handheld PC that makes lots of noise and has really low battery and is really expensive when I could just play Halo through xCloud. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. And that brings it to like the ultimate thing. Is this too late? Is there too many things already in the market? Is the mobile scene, the other competing PC handhelds, the Switch, and also Project xCloud, is this just too late to even contemplate bringing this to the market? You say, like, I just don't see. I'd love this to be a thing only because it looks cool and it looks a bit more powerful. But like the big question is, will we see this? Probably not.
If I was a betting man, I would say this will probably not get made. This is a prototype right now. It is a concept from AlienWare. They're obviously putting it out there looking for investment and interest and whatever. So at the same time, though, there's a lot of reasons why something like this shouldn't get made. I don't believe there's a huge number of PC gamers crying out saying, I really wish I could play fucking Dota on a handheld while I'm on the bus. A CSGO on the bus. I don't believe there's a lot of that.
Potentially.
Nah, like the amount of precision required using little controllers, you're on the bus and it bumps and like you fucking miss your no scope. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff. I just don't see it. It's a cool idea, but I do believe that other things service it better. The Switch is a fantastic product on every metric. Mobile like games can fill the void when you're on the toilet for like a minute.
Yeah.
Like I just don't see the real business case for this, you know?
Yeah, the only thing I can see this for is potentially hardcore gamers that do love the idea of getting hold of the latest tech, being, you know, ahead of the curve of like things that are coming out and they want to play their games on the bus.
Emulation would be cool. Emulation would be very cool.
Yeah, and look, I mean, there isn't anything else on the market at the moment, apart from the things that we've mentioned, that are really making a big bang in terms of handhelds for the PC market. So if this was to be the thing that actually created an actual awareness for handheld for PC games, maybe, but apart from that, I don't see it to be a big thing. And CES was only looks to usually bring out half of what they show on that floor anyway.
I would like this to be successful. I would like it to come out and be cool, but I just have my doubts, that's all. So I wish Alienware the best with it. Go forward, try and get it out there. We'll meme it when it arrives. We'll lift it in with a forklift. But until then, Sam's going to continue his bicep workouts, getting ready for this thing to arrive.
It's very heavy.
It is very heavy.
All right, guys, Laymen out. I'm not going to throw it. Ralph was like, ah!
Down, up, come on, more energy. Down, up, down, up, down. Come on, one more time.